Hare Krishna. Welcome to Shubham Japa session. श्री राधा माधव अष्ट सखी बिंद की जय, पंचतत्व भगवान की जय, राजा को जगन्नाथ सुदर्शन की जय, लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय. So we'll start with today's Bhagavatam class. We'll be discussing on from first canto, 12th chapter, verse number 25. Just a minute. Try and share my screen. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter number 12, verse number 25. Dairyat Bali Samaha Krishna प्रहलाद एव सद्गृहाः आहारतैषो अश्वमेधानां वृद्धानां पर्युपासकः. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dhairya by patience, Bali Samaha, like Bali Maharaj, Krishna unto Lord Krishna, unto Lord Shri Krishna, Prahlad Maharaj, Eva like Sadgraha, her devotee of Aharta, performer, Esha, this child, Ashwamedhanam of Ashwamedha sacrifices, Vridhanam of the old and experienced men, Pariupasaka follower. Translation: this child will be like Bali Maharaj in patience, a staunch devotee of Lord Krishna, like Prahlad Maharaj, a performer of Ashwamedha, a performer of many Ashwamedha, horse sacrifices, and a follower of old and experienced men. Purport: Bali Maharaj, one of the 12 authorities in the devotional service of the Lord. Bali Maharaj is a great authority in devotional service because he sacrificed everything to please the Lord and relinquished the connection of his so-called spiritual master who obstructed him on the path of risking everything for the service of the Lord. The highest perfection of religious life is to attain to the stage of unqualified devotional service of the Lord without any cause or without being obstrued by any kind of worldly obligation. Bali Maharaj was determined to give up everything for the satisfaction of the Lord, and he did not care for any obstruction whatsoever. He is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, another authority in devotional service of the Lord. Bali Maharaj and his story and his dealings with the Vishnu Vamanadev are described in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 11 to 24. Prahlad Maharaj, a perfect devotee of Lord Krishna, Vishnu, his father Hiranyakashipu chastised him severely when he was only 5 years old for him. He is becoming an unalloyed devotee of the Lord. He was the first son of Hiranyakashipu and his mother's name was Kayadu. Prahlad Maharaj was an authority in devotional service of the Lord because he had his father killed by Lord Nrsimhadev, setting the example that even a father should be removed from the path of devotional service if such father happens to be an obstacle. He had 4 sons, and the eldest son, Brikona, is the father of Bali Maharaj mentioned above. The story of Prahlad Maharaj's activities is described in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So before I begin, I would like to offer my prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे हरे। So we were discussing in the past couple of verses. We have been discussing as to how Parikshit Maharaj is being compared to various devotees and how he has such exemplary qualities. So similarly, in this above mentioned verse, that is verse number 25 from chapter number 12, here Parikshit Maharaj is being compared with the qualities of Parikshit Maharaj is being compared to compared with Bali Maharaj and that of Prahlad Maharaj. So we can see in the purport, in the translation, Srila Prabhupada has written, this child will be like Bali Maharaj in patience and a staunch devotee of Lord Krishna like Prahlad Maharaj, a performer of many Ashwamedha horse sacrifices and a follower of old and experienced men. And in the purport as to how Srila Prabhupada has mentioned all the exemplary qualities of Bali Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj. So we all know how such a great devotee Prahlad Maharaj was. So we all know as to how Prahlad Maharaj, preached Kaumaram Acharit Prajna. So it was Prahlad Maharaj who told that a person must take up Krishna consciousness in his life from Kaumara, that is when he is around 5 years old. From that age, Prahlad Maharaj preached that one should take up Krishna consciousness in their life in order to serve Guru and Krishna. So they and here we can see that both the exalted personalities mentioned in the purport are happen to be the among the 12 Mahajans, even Prahlad Maharaj and his grandson Bali Maharaj. Both of them happened to be one among the 12 Mahajans. So we all know how much we've there is a separate particular canto that is being dedicated for the glories of Prahlad Maharaj, that is the unlimited glories of Prahlad Maharaj and his grandson Bali Maharaj also, as to how he became a devotee of the Supreme Lord and how Vamana Dev appeared. So we can see in the purport that what Prabhupada is mentioning. It's an elaborated purport and such wonderful points Srila Prabhupada has listed down. So we'll try and discuss one by one. So here in the purport, we can see that Prabhupada has written that Bali Maharaj has, rejected. He has rejected his spiritual master. So when we see this, we when it is an unusual circumstance, because even in the Guru Ashtakam, it is being said that Sakshat Dharetrina Samasta Shastre. So, it has been said that all the Shastras tell that the spiritual master has to be worshipped like equivalent with the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, that is the amount of respect one has to, provide to his spiritual master. But here, in case of Bali Maharaj, we see that when Vamanadev appeared, uh, you know, at that point of time, his spiritual master knew that, this particular draft person, that is Vamana Dev, who is up, the Supreme Lord has come in form of a draft that is none other than Vamana Dev, and he's going to take away everything from Bali Maharaj. So we all know this pastime, right, as to how Vamanadev appeared, and he was a Brahmana. So he came to Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj, he has been born in the dynasty of demons, because we know as to how his grandfather was Prahlad Maharaj, and Prahlad Maharaj's father was Hiranyakashipu, and we know how such a demonic person Hiranyakashipu was. So, in spite of being born in a demonic family, Bali Maharaj, whenever a Brahmana used to come to ask for charity, Bali Maharaj had never refused. There was no instance wherein Bali Maharaj refused to offer charity to a Brahmana. So, in the similar lines, Vamana Dev came and he asked for charity to Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj, we know Vamana Dev is a very draft person. So, Bali Maharaj, when Vamana Dev approached him, Bali Maharaj said him, "So, what do you want in charity? You can ask me anything." So, as soon as his spiritual master saw his saw that Vamanadev was coming, and that minute his spiritual master could realize that this person who is coming is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and he's taken the incarnation. He's incarnated as Vamanadev, and he's going to take everything from Bali Maharaj. He's going to conquer everything that Bali Maharaj had. And in fact, his spiritual master, Shuklacharya, he told Bali Maharaj that, don't offer charity to this particular Brahman. But Bali Maharaj did not even think twice. He just asked what Vamanadev wanted, and he offered that in charity. So Vamanadev, we know as to how he asked that, I will, wherever I keep my 3 foods, that particular land will become mine. So Bali Maharaj said, okay, he's a draft person, so what would be his food size? Hardly of a child. But we know how Vamanadev expanded, and his 1 foot, he conquered the lower up planetary system, and another foot he conquered the upper planetary system. And when Vamanadev asked, so, already with the 2 foods, I've conquered the entire universe. So where do I keep my other leg? And Bali Maharaj offered his head. He tells, oh Lord, you please keep it on my head. So this way, when his spiritual master said that this person is none other than Supreme Lord, and don't surrender, and that is when Bali Maharaj rejected his spiritual master. And very beautifully, Srila Prabhupada has written in the purport that anything which is risking in your path of devotional service, that has to be rejected. So why not it be your own spiritual master? So even if that spiritual master is telling you that, oh, this is Supreme Lord, don't accept him, then such a spiritual master has to be rejected. So we all, when I was going through my initiation process, so this was actually one of the questions that was asked in my initiation process. So when I was preparing, I never knew that a spiritual master could be rejected. So that is when my Shiksha Guru told that there is an instance in the Srimad Bhagavatam that a Mahajan like Pali Maharaj rejected his spiritual master. I was stunned to know why was it. It was, and when I was reading the purport here, that is when I was able to correlate with it. And Prabhupada has written that anything which is obstructing in the path of your devotional service, in performing your devotional service, it has to be rejected. So why not it be your spiritual master, or why not it be your biological father? So here a father can also be rejected, because Prahlad Maharaj, we can see, you know, how Hiranyakashipu had even conquered the kingdoms of the demigods, the planets of the demigods. He had all the demigods under his control. It is said that Hiranyakashipu could, even decide when should Surya Dev rise and set. So that is the amount of control Hiranyakashipu had. And in spite of that, in spite of Hiranyakashipu being father to his son Prahlad Maharaj rejected the teachings of his father. And when he went to his school, he always preached that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So here we can see that a father can be rejected. So it may be your biological father, as how Prahlad Maharaj rejected his father because his father was an obstacle in his path of devotional service. He wasn't allowing him to perform devotional service. And what Hiranyakashipu was preaching to Prahlad Maharaj, it was against the scriptures, right? So in the similar lines, even Bali Maharaj, you know, he also rejected his father, that is his spiritual father. His spiritual father, his spiritual master, he rejected his own spiritual master, who is said to be worshipped as equivalent to the Supreme Lord, because he was an obstacle in the path of devotional service. So, the first takeaway from the purport is that anything and everything causing an obstruction in the path of devotional service has to be then and there removed. So there are various examples in this pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. I was hearing to a lecture, and that senior Vaishnava was mentioning as to how it can be seen even in case of Arjuna. He gave up the detachment towards his relatives, and he accepted Krishna to be his spiritual master, and he heard to Gita. And even in case of the Brahmana patnis, right? So when their husbands were Brahmanas and they were following the shastras, and they were not supposed to offer the bhoga when Krishna and Balaram came along with their friends, but they went against the social etiquette. They went against their own husbands in order to serve the Supreme Lord. And why, go back to Dwapara Yuga, even in our Kali Yuga, when the Shad Goswamis had come down in order to, re-establish the laws dharma to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So our Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, they were from such aristocratic families, and they had such high knowledge. They were such intelligent personalities, and in spite of all these luxuries in their life, they gave up everything in the service for the service of the Supreme Lord. In fact, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami lists down as to how one's income has to be divided. And Sanatana Goswami, even they mentioned that 50% of one's earning has to be given as charity for for the service of the Supreme Lord. So, what can we understand from all these examples is that in case of Brahmana Patis, in case of Sanatana Goswami, all of them gave up their material possessions, which was acting as an obstruction in their devotional service. So, moving on to the next point as to how both the devotees mentioned here, that is Bali Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, sorry, Bali Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, they were such affectionate personalities. So devotees are always, affectionate to their to everybody, because we've seen various devotees, and even Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj, they were such affectionate people, and they're such exalted devotees, showing exemplary qualities. Prahlad Maharaj, we know as to how, Prahlad Maharaj, he used to preach to his friends in when his father used to send Prahlad Maharaj to the school, and he used to, his teachers used to teach that Hiranyakashipu is the supreme controller, and Prahlad Maharaj never accepted that teaching. In fact, he used to teach the kids at his school, his friends, that Krishna is the supreme Lord and he is the controller of everything, both material and spiritual. So, like this, he was so affectionate, and when he was such a staunch devotee, as Prabhupada mentions in the purport, that he was able to get the Supreme Lord down for himself. That we know that Supreme Lord, just by his will he could have killed Hiranyakashipu. Just by a click of his hand he could have killed Hiranyakashipu. But no, he was such a staunch devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, that the Supreme Lord has to he had to take a separate incarnation of Dev to just come down and kill his father. So that was the power of Prahlad Maharaj. It has been said that when Dev was all ferocious after killing Hiranyakashipu, nobody, not even the most person, the most knowledgeable person, Brahma, who saw the Supreme Lord for the first time, could come and console him. Not even his consort, Lakshmi Devi, could come and console him. Everybody were, backstepping, because that is how ferocious Dev was. Nobody could just control Dev. But it was only Prahlad Maharaj who came, and, he started offering prayers to the Supreme Lord, as to how he's from a demonic family, and in spite of that, Supreme Lord has been so merciful that he's come down and he's been protecting him. So that is how Prahlad Maharaj was. He was telling the Supreme Lord, it seems, that, "Oh Lord, I am from a demonic family, and in spite of that, you've been so merciful to come down and protect me." And one of the most important things I was hearing in the lecture is that he was when he was offering all these prayers, he exhibited this quality that he offered all the glories unto the lotus feet of the spiritual master. He told that, if I am able to perform bhakti today, it is all the glories goes to my spiritual master Narada Muni. So that is one point as to how Prahlad Maharaj was a staunch devotee, that he could get Dev to protect him. He could make the Supreme Lord get an incarnation to protect him, and only it was Prahlad Maharaj who could pacify Dev, who could cool down from that ferocious mood. He could get him to the Shanta mood. On the other hand, when he was doing all of this, he offered all the glories to his spiritual master. So that is one thing we can learn from Prahlad Maharaj, that all these various devotional services that we are performing, we can offer it as an humble offering unto the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Because if it was not for Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj, or our spiritual master, we could no way perform devotional service, and the mercy of the Supreme Lord flows through the Guru Parampara. So that is how Prahlad Maharaj is teaching us to offer everything unto the lotus feet of the spiritual master. And coming to Bali Maharaj is an exemplary example of Atma Nivedan. So when Vamana Dev asked him, "Where do I place my third foot?" Bali Maharaj, without even a second thought, he offered himself. So we always think, right, when we come to the path of devotional service, so if I perform this particular devotional service, or will my material activity not be affected? So the entire thing is that we have to place our material activities in such a way that it doesn't affect, it doesn't become an obstacle for the spiritual activity. But we are so conditioned that, we place our spiritual activity in such a way that my material activities don't get affected. So Bali Maharaj is teaching us here that, it could be anything. A brahmana should be respected. A brahmana must always be given charity. Even though Bali Maharaj was from a demonic family, Bali Maharaj made sure that when brahmanas come forward asking for charity, brahmanas should be respected and brahmanas must be given charity. They could ask for anything. And in fact, Bali Maharaj went to such an extent that he offered himself as he offered himself in the service of the Supreme Lord. So the same thing we can see even in our Guru Parampara, our Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj. All of them are following the footsteps of Bali Maharaj. So that is how exemplary Bali Maharaj was. And the same affectionate quality, as to how I told how Prahlad Maharaj used to, tell when Nrsimhadev asked him, come, let's go back to the spiritual world. Prahlad Maharaj said, no, I wouldn't be coming back to spiritual world. And, Nrsimhadev was shocked as listening to his answer. Why did Prahlad Maharaj say that, I'm not going to go back to the spiritual world? It is because, Prahlad Maharaj was sure that, he's going to stay back on his devotional service, render devotional service. But he was keen about the other Jivatmas. He told Nrsingadev that I am sure I will go back to the supreme abode. I am not concerned about that, but my concern is for these conditioned souls in this material world, wherein they have to, again get into the cycle of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. So I want to make sure that, all of them also come along with me to the spiritual abode. So the same quality, he's been so affectionate. Same quality can be seen even in our Parikshit Maharaj, as to how when Kali, came to Parikshit Maharaj asking for a shelter, and we all know how the four regulative principles we follow. He said that the Kali can reside in those places. But Kali was saying, when he came for the shelter and there was nothing, and that is when Parikshit Maharaj gave shelter to Kali in gold. So that is how Kali resides in gold. So that is how, even though Kali was such a person, and Parikshit Maharaj knew that how Kali Yuga could be, how Kali can, not allowed to perform devotional service. In spite of that, when Kali came for shelter, he offered shelter. That is how affectionate even Parikshit Maharaj was. So, just two more points, maybe, if I can wind up. And we can see the humility of Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj. They were so humble, right? Even Prahlad Maharaj, as I was mentioning, he was offering prayers to Nrsingadev, telling that, I am from a demonic family. So it is like only Brahmanas and such people on mode of goodness can actually worship the Supreme Lord. But the people from demonic family, they tend to be, in the mode of passion and ignorance. So in spite of that, he was so humble, and he was telling Nrsingadev, in spite of me being from such a background, you've been so mercifully accepting me. So Sanatana Goswami tells that this humbleness, right, this humility is next to Krishna Prema. Anybody who is humble, they achieve Krishna Prema faster. So Bali Maharaj was also humble when Vamanadev came down. Prahlad Maharaj was also humble. And even Parikshit Maharaj was so humble that, when Prahlad Maharaj, when Parikshit Maharaj was cursed by Shringi, that, you will die in 7 days, and because of the act that he performed, Parikshit Maharaj had the power to counter curse, but he did not do that. But in fact, he you know, he went to Shukadev Goswami and he heard Srimad Bhagavatam. So all these personalities, they are so humble. In spite Parikshit Maharaj being he was, he had the power to counter curse. He did not counter curse because that is the humbleness they were showing, because he was the son of a Brahmana and he was already repenting for the act that he had performed, and he knew that, even though this person is cursing me, I shouldn't be counter cursing him because he's a son of a Brahmana and I shouldn't be doing that. So they were so humble that Parikshit Maharaj accepted the curse of a small boy Brahmana, and he sat down and he heard Srimad Bhagavatam from the lotus mouth of Sukadev Goswami. So humbleness, if somebody is humble, that is the key to get Krishna Prema. That is next to Krishna Prema. So somebody, if they're humble, they get Krishna Prema faster. This is what I heard from one of the Vaishnava. That is also a quality you can see in both of the Mahajan. And lastly, if anybody is surrendering to the Supreme Lord, then they become fearless, right? So if somebody is surrendering unto the Supreme Lord, the Lord removes all the fear. When Bali Maharaj offered a charity to Vamanadev, he was not fearful as to how, because his guru was, his spiritual master was already warning him that, don't surrender unto him, don't surrender, he is the Supreme Lord, he'll take away everything from you. But Bali Maharaj, he was fearless, he was ready to offer everything to the Supreme Lord. And he wasn't fearful that, oh, all my material possessions will go away. No, Bali Maharaj never thought that. Because he offered everything unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Lord made him fearless of anything and everything. And even Prahlad Maharaj, there was no instance wherein Prahlad Maharaj was fearful of performing devotional service, in spite of all the difficulties that his father gave to Prahlad Maharaj. So, it is not that only Prahlad Maharaj just preached that, you should worship the Supreme Lord will protect you. No. So, Nrsimhadev was, testing him. Oh, Prahlad, you're preaching that I am the protector. So, it is, let me check you. So when, his father pushed him from the cliff down, and Prahlad Maharaj was falling, and there was no minute where Prahlad Maharaj doubt that, that the Supreme Lord will not protect me. No, even when he was falling down from the cliff, he was chanting the names of Lord Narayana, and he had such strong faith that that Lord Nrsimhadev will protect him. Narayana was down the cliff. He was about to touch the ground. Prahlad Maharaj was about to touch the ground, and that's when the Lord came and protected him. So it is not only preaching; it is always achar and then prachar. It is first you practice, then you preach. That we can see from Prahlad Maharaj. So that is how fearless he was. He was never in a fear that the Supreme Lord will never protect me. Once he had surrendered to the Supreme Lord, all the fear was removed. And lastly, our Parikshit Maharaj also, he was never in the fear that, oh, I'm going to die in 7 days. No, he offered his entire complete 7 days, 24/7 to the Supreme Lord for hearing the glories of the Supreme Lord. He gave up all his material possessions and he surrendered himself to the Supreme Lord. And what was the result of this? Even before the Takshaka the snake bird could come and bite him, even before the bird touching his body, he was elevated to the Supreme Abode. So once we surrender to the Supreme Lord, we become fearless. So these were some of the points just to sum up how, everything can be rejected if they are obstructing the path of devotional service, how one has to be humble, and how these devotees, the exalted Mahajans are humble, and how they've offered everything to the Supreme Lord and surrendered themselves, which has made them fearless. So these were some of the points I could get from this verse. So I thank you all for your patient hearing. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। पतित पावन गुरु महाराज की जय।